Today, I want to tell you about Cesar Franck. He was an organist, a pianist, a composer, and a music teacher, and he was born in Liège, which is modern-day Belgium, in 1822. Now, his father was a bank clerk, not a musician. Now, he was musical, but it wasn't what he did for a living. But he played piano and he taught his son, and his son had an exceptional ear and was very good. So, recognizing this extraordinary gift, his father got him formal lessons, and he took lessons in piano and ear training and solfège and counterpoint and all of that at the Liège Conservatory. Now, Franck gave his first public performance when he was only 10 years old, and it was good. It was very good. And his father was very interested in how interested people were in his son, and he thought perhaps he was sitting on a gold mine. And he became one of those parents, pushy manager parents, and this was an issue for the rest of their lives together. Again, after this great successful concert at 10, his father had him tour by the time he was 11, and he toured Belgium and he toured other parts of Europe, and just had to perform. Now, this was a lot of pressure for this kid, and he didn't like it very much. However, he was an excellent musician. Nicholas, the father, he bragged all the time about his son, not about what a great musician he was, but more like, look, this guy's going to make our family famous, and this kid's going to bring our family a lot of money. He was very strict. He controlled his schedule, who his friends were, where he could go at any time. There was no freedom, not a lot of time to play. It was practice, learn, perform, and it was really hard on poor Franck. Now, as all great musicians at the time, the best place to go would be Paris. So his father decided his son was going to go study at the conservatory in Paris. But because he was so controlling, he didn't send his son there. He moved the entire family so that he could keep his eyes on this kiddo, his bankroll, basically, the entire time. So Franck was loving this, though. He did love studying music with the greatest teachers out there at the time, but he loved all the parts about music. He didn't think of music as like a way to become famous or a way to become super wealthy. Fame was not what he desired at all. He thought of it as a spiritual walk, as more to learn, right? As Cesar Franck was growing up, he longed for his own individuality within music. He wanted his own artistic ideals followed, and him and his father really clashed. His father saw him more as an investment opportunity, and his son, Cesar, who we're talking about, he just wanted peace. He wanted independence. He was a deep thinker, and he wasn't really all that outgoing, which his musicality was good enough to be a performer for sure. But you also need to have something that wants to be out there on stage. He didn't have it. Even Franz Liszt told his father, it's like, hey, this kid is great, but he's not necessarily a performer, and we don't know if he even wants to be, and he didn't want to be. He loved music. He wanted to compose. He ended up going into teaching as well. Now, that was great. He loved people. He wasn't necessarily like anti-people. He just didn't want to perform all the time. And perhaps he would have been a better performer or great if his father hadn't made him hate performing so much. But he became an amazing teacher. He ended up moving to Paris and became a French citizen so that he could. He taught organ in the conservatory there. He actually had like a group of kids that just absolutely loved him, and they were called the Franck Circle, and they just studied and studied and studied under him. He was known because he was not just a great musician, but such a good teacher. He was such a gentle heart and gentle nature, and just this deep love of music for the sake of music, for the sake of what it is, like expression and understanding and all that music can be, all the goodness of it. He never was okay with his dad. He and his dad broke and never spoke again. When Cesar Franck fell in love and got married, his father wasn't even invited. Cesar Franck did not go to his father's funeral. Like, that was over. It's quite sad. Sadly, in 1890, Cesar Franck got hit by a horse and buggy. He just got hit, and he got very hurt and never fully recovered and ended up dying. His funeral had his students there, his family, and so he might have grown up in his younger life with a controlling father and a distant coldness that came with that. But in his own life as a grown man, he had a lot of love around him and for his students and for his wife and kids. And um, his life was good. His life was good. I loved playing his violin concerto, but he's written much stuff. So go listen to some Cesar Franck.